So an important part of my creative process involves using Photoshop. I do some preparatory drawings to work out some of my basic composition through drawing, but when it comes to designing the layout of various elements, the overall tone, colour and style of the painting, Photoshop helps me to get a good feel for what the painting might actually look like. So with this painting here, I've actually taken probably around 50 reference photos that I'm working from for each of the individual elements. So I print those out individually, but I've also used the actual reference photos in a digital compositional arrangement. So I can apply lighting to them and get them all to be affected by the same sort of atmosphere. With these hands, these are the various reference pictures of the potential hands that will be surrounding the central figure. And with this particular hand, what I'm trying to do is get it to look as if it is part of the overall composition. So I'm sizing it up, seeing where it looks best, and I'm about to apply some lighting to it. Because there's a candle down in the bottom right, and I want to make sure that that candle has a real presence. Now you can see here I'm doing quite a rough outline of where the light might be falling on the hand. I like to keep this as accurate as possible with these compositional sketches, but they're not the final product, so I'm not too pedantic. And as you can see, when you start to blur it and dissolve it into the picture, it starts to look quite natural. So there you can see it's sort of part of the scene now. So that's an element that I can always take away and treat differently. Here's another one where I'm taking a photograph of my hand with a cell phone. This is another character surrounding the autopsy bench and represents the sort of mass reporting that's now available from anyone with a cell phone or a video camera. As you can see, there are a number of layers there which all correspond to an element in the painting. Now this is actually quite an organic process where I can fiddle around without taking the risk of putting paint on board. Now I can look at the hand and check the scale and the perspective against the other hands. Here I'm trying a different position. I have a couple of spaces available for this particular hand. Other paintings like Reason, which is a lot smaller, just involved a rough mock-up with about 10 reference photos. Also, I could work from the composition and make vast changes in the painting without much planning. And so the painting veered away from the composition as it reached its completion. Frontier has been through many revolutions. Photoshop allowed me to experiment with a character being dressed in a 2001 space suit on a quarry situated on a moon. This related to the quarry-like environment of some of my other paintings.